United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Minutes from the previous meeting.
Okay. I move to approve.
I have one correction. It's a minor correction. It's CCMG, not CMMG.
Yeah.
It's a minor thing, but I saw that right away.
Okay. Move to approve the adjustment.
Second.
All those in favor to approve the minutes as corrected, raise your right hand. That's everybody. Might as well go over the bills while
Yep. I did notice after I was talking with Ryan, the CCMG, the engineering for that last week was for Commonwealth. I messed that up. It was supposed to be for A and Z,
Oh, okay.
and I mixed it
Okay.
up. So I got back in, but we didn't send the checks out.
We caught it earlier.
Yeah. I talked to Ryan Tuesday morning after I got back. I voided that check and wrote it to A and Z, which is why it's on here. So that was for that A and Z. So over $500 are A and Z engineering for $68,431.50. Arthur J. Gallagher for $12,248. Boyce Forms for $644.92. Civic Plus for $3,132. CNI Fiber for $963.20. Everett J. Prescott, $1,560. Force Technology for $2,686.06. Hatch Company for $738. Payrolls. Local Government Services for $2,538.20. Payroll. Task payroll. Underground contractors for $2,598.97. USI Consultants for $1,265.50. W.A. Jones for $754.78. WM Corp for $2,644. The one for underground was a check that they had lost in the mail. It was for Stone from last year, from like November. They lost the check, so I had them fill out paperwork, put a stop check order, and then reissue them out the check.
Oh. We have to pay for that stop check?
Yeah, it's like $35.
You didn't make them pay it?
No, because when I had started, Tim had bounced a check from them, which is also $35 back like in the beginning of '24. And they never pushed us about it, so I didn't to them.
Oh,
But we could work it into. I don't know if we have a policy about that, but
we should.
yeah, I have I found like an affidavit of lost check that I made them fill out, like, and sign it saying that they wouldn't cash it if they did find it. So maybe we just add something to that saying that we tack that on or subtract that from the price of the original check or something like that.
Yeah,
So
okay, move to approve.
Can you hang on just a second? Dean had to run out to get his phone to sign himself in. We could hold off just a second here. Thank you.
Make
Mhm.
things too secure.
I need the same way.
That number hold that long?
No.
It's
It's okay.
Yeah.
It's refreshing.
Good news story.
This would be the time he forgets his keys.
He was just in there earlier, wasn't he?
I don't know.
Hopefully that A&Z bill covers their entire engineering fee for the grant.
I think it's a portion.
$75.
Actually, it's alright if I can just respond to that.
I have to redo that. No.
I gotta refresh it.
Should automatically initiate the app to open.
That was for the engineering for the community crossing grant. Last week you guys had passed that same amount, but it was for Commonwealth, it was just the wrong
Oh,
number.
yeah, okay. Yeah, I heard you say that, but I was just looking at that again and I thought, wow.
Yeah, so the original check was.
So is that the end of it?
No, I think that was just
See,
a portion of
authenticator
it.
anywhere. Did you do run out there?
Yeah.
You have to run. Don't lock it down. We'll give it back to Caleb back here.
Alright, so, just to let you know, Vicky, made a motion to, approve the bills.
So,
John seconded, all those in favor, raise your hand. Alright,
that's everybody.
alright. Well, we have somebody here from Lakeland on the agenda. How you doing?
I
Hello
just
again?
I just sent over a copy of the agreement that we were talking about earlier. We were gonna try and print a couple of copies, but I do not have access to a printer, so would one of you mind doing that for me?
Yeah, I could print it off, Mark.
Oh, you're getting it? Okay, thank you.
So this isn't it.
Okay, so we should start all the way back at the beginning with Lakeland.
Okay.
Lakeland had the contract that we entered into on December 27th, 2024 for up to $100,000 for the fiber study. It was late, they delivered it late to us. There's an addendum in there that brings the cost down to what they are gonna charge us, $47,674.23. This takes the original, this addendum would take the original 100,000 down to that amount. This allows them to invoice us, and then we don't owe them any more money. So this is just an addendum to that original contract. This is not a new contract. This is just to add on to it.
Yeah, I think the primary purpose of that one is to just make clear that there will be no additional invoices associated with that work. That's the last of what you can expect to see for that. So it should be
Print it off. And if you go into the link, I'm gonna upload right now the contract that they just sent. So this will be a separate contract from Lakeland for services for them to provide the city. Not attached to the original fiber study. This is something completely separate, where Lakeland would provide the city services. And if you wanna go over that, it's printing off right now, so.
This one here, right?
That's the addendum to the original
that's what I thought,
contract, yep. So that one that we had, the one that we had signed for, it's right here,
Oh, gotcha.
right there.
I kept looking for it, and I thought, okay, where's that?
Yeah, so that's the addendum for the original one, this is a brand new contract.
Alright.
He's gonna print you off a copy too. These guys.
I'm gonna hand them out.
Take one down, pass it around.
is there anything we need to talk about on the first one? The addendum?
I think that Kevin should still review it. The attorney, Kevin, should still review the addendum. Just to make sure it doesn't leave the city open to any legal problem.
So, but I don't think there's nothing we need to do with that one right now.
I don't believe so.
Okay. So going on to this next one, this was drafted with the specifics that we've been discussing, so it shouldn't be huge surprise.
You should fill in everybody, because
Okay.
only the two that we have been in the meeting with know about this, so you should fill in everybody, just go over it. That way, it's on camera too, so we're on YouTube, so.
Yeah, so this agreement that you've got in front of you is positioned for Lakeland to be able to provide internet services as well as connectivity services to municipal buildings. Specifically in this contract, it calls out for 5. So at the town's discretion where each of those connections would go, but in discussions with Caleb here, it sounds like the preferred design for the town would mirror what is already in place, which is one primary internet connection at the water tower, and then private connections to each of the city's different buildings. So for example, the town hall, I believe we had some other ones in there as well.
Town hall, police department, wastewater treatment plant, and then the primary connections over at the water tower.
So basically for Lakeland to come in and provide those services, which I believe you are currently already paying for. Now these would be provided to the city at no charge for a term of 60 months, so 5 years, from the date that the first building gets turned on. It would include a internet connection of 1 gigabit per second, and as well as the secure connection to each of your other buildings. After that point, Lakeland is offering to provide a discounted rate for municipal services at that point, which would be residential rates. So once the 60 months expires, we would still offer a discounted rate. We also in here explicitly call out that for those 5 connections, there would be no installation, activation, or connection fees associated with them. They would be installed at Lakeland's cost. Section number 6 there, data security and access control, just explicitly states that Lakeland will in no way allow any other entities to connect to that private network. Number 7 is just a statement of intent. We've discussed, and in the last meeting that we attended, we explained that we've worked with other communities in the past to provide public Wi-Fi service to locations, and so number 7 is basically just saying that we will work together to look at the clock tower, the public park, and the ball diamonds to evaluate those locations and determine what it would take to provide service at those locations. Number 8 is Internet of Things device. That was explicitly included in there to account for the lift station monitoring equipment, which is that currently in place, or was that a new?
IoT devices would be things like lift stations, traffic monitoring devices, stuff that's low bandwidth that is not using what we would consider like a real internet connection. It would just be added to the private network that we would have in Woodburn here.
So explain some of the what an IoT device is, what it would cost to connect those to the network, and then the recurring monthly fee that would be incurred to connect those devices. And number 9 is where we explain basically what we're asking for in return, which is allowing us to place a cabinet at your water tower. This would not interfere with any of the city utilities. And then as recommended in discussions, provide power to Lakeland at this site. And as I mentioned, number 9 goes through and explains the terms with that. So it's a relatively simple agreement and open to changes in wording, but the kind of quick version is Lakeland provides free internet service for your buildings in exchange for a power circuit and access to your water tower to place infrastructure in support of providing the services to both the city and the town.
What's with the generator? Talked about that this afternoon.
We do not typically install generators at our sites, but it was proposed since the town already has a generator there, it would ultimately just benefit the town having additional redundancy and power backup. At there, we already install at least 8 hours of power redundancy in our sites, regardless of whether they have a generator or not anyway. But it was proposed, since the city does have those services available, that it ultimately would benefit both Lakeland and the town to have our equipment supported by that backup generator.
May I add my notes?
Yes, please.
Okay. 9C, I think that we should add language that says during the term of the complementary municipal connectivity. So that's the power thing that Terry was just referring to.
Mhm.
And then on 3C, we would just need a static IP address to keep all of our connections in place for police cars, our VPN connection to the county, and other VPN connections that we have, or other services that we host here at the city right now. One of the benefits of doing this is that we would be able to get rid of our CNI connection, and that is about $900 a month right now. So that would save the city approximately $11,000 a year, which is a pretty, I think, a substantial savings on that side of things. Add in the power of about $40, $50 a month on that side of things. I think that's a pretty good net benefit for the city.
Can you amend that right here in the print?
Sure. Yeah.
What about is the cost to get the power to the cabinet, because that'll also be on you guys as well, was that in here?
I do not think that we explicitly called that out, but happy to have that in there as
Okay.
well. We would, we'd incur the cost of getting power cables to your existing electrical panel.
Okay.
That can be called out as well. So I can write these down. So we said.
So does that go against 9C? City provided no additional cost to Lakeland a 20 amp electrical circuit. Generator backup at the water tower, I mean, we shouldn't have to pay for that.
Circuit come, I'm assuming the circuits come from inside the building.
They're gonna put their cabinet in and hook onto the power at the building at their cost. We're just gonna provide the power, we're gonna pay the power bill that's at the building either way.
Which might be $3.
So the circuit's already there,
Yeah.
Yes.
okay.
So, I don't know if we got enough circuits there or not.
Then we have the
We
generator.
have plenty of power there, but like I said, that's 3-phase into that, I mean, that's 480 into that building, so we have a lot of power there. We stepped down for everything in there now, so. There's no pumps or motors in there anymore, so we don't even use the 480 anymore.
And our generator comes on what, after an hour
Down there immediately.
Yeah,
immediately?
I think it's like a minute or two.
Or a minute, yeah.
Mhm. And then it automatically cycles back to grid power once it's detected again.
And Josh, I think you're number 4, I think, and this is still what I brought up a couple times, there's no real end date on number 4 about the reduced rate at residential rates. There's no real end date in mind, so on both sides, for you guys and for us, of what that looks like after the complimentary services
I don't
An
know that I
actual date.
understand your
I don't either.
question.
So number 4 on here, it doesn't give you, it just says that upon the expiration of the complimentary services that we're gonna switch over to a residential service rate with there's no end. So it doesn't say one way if it ends 1 month or is it in perpetuity, it doesn't say. So
Okay.
I would rather have it say a defined amount of time.
Which you proposed you wanted in perpetuity.
I've proposed in perpetuity along, at Lakeland's price that they are offering that package at the time.
And I
So-
guess when I read it with no termination date specified, that implies to me perpetuity, but maybe that's not how it works in legal documents.
Yeah, I don't know. I think it has to be. You have to have something set up. Otherwise, you're going to, even if it's,
You're gonna get people.
you're gonna get somebody to, you have to get lawyers involved. They decide to turn, to stop. I'm not saying they would do that. But if they said, well, we wanna stop, we can say, well, no, it doesn't say there's anything in there. They're gonna say, exactly, there's nothing in there. So,
Should be a term with an option to renew.
see, I like that too.
What's the term
I
of the
want-
contract?
Well, this is for after the term of the contract, once that contract's
No,
expired.
Of this contract
This
you
is
have
not,
here. I'm not talking about that.
Well, this has the terms are inside of here. It's a 5-year complimentary term and then a reduced rate thereafter.
But that's part of a contract, right? The whole document's a contract. Does that have an end date?
No.
No.
That's
So I
what he's
think-
talking about, is no end date.
Yeah, there's no date on the contract, doesn't say when it's up or anything like that. There's terms in the contract that specify dates, but
That should be specified too, shouldn't it?
Perpetuity, there's a problem with that. What if they wanna get rid of us, or what if we wanna get rid of them? I mean, is there a way we can put a long-term date on that?
Well, I think the renewal side that Mayor Kelsey mentioned would help with that.
That's what I mean, I think that's what you're talking about, right, Joe?
Yeah,
Some kind of
a term with an option to renew at the end of the term.
yeah,
Now, that residential side of things was set to, basically in perpetuity, they would give the city at the residential rate. So that's not, I don't know how to word it, like, I guess you wouldn't want an end date on that necessarily.
I don't know if an attorney's gonna like perpetuity on any contract.
I mean, we're gonna have Kevin, I intend to have this motioned pending review from our legal, so I mean, I'm comfortable with the fact that this contract doesn't have a termination. That 4 is left open-ended, kind of implying the same term as the contract. It's open-ended, they will continue to offer the residential rate as long as this document is still effective, which is effective in perpetuity because it doesn't have an end date.
Unless agreed by both parties, type of thing.
Yeah.
It is pretty, just outside of this contract, it is pretty standard practice for us to offer discounted rates for municipalities. Actually, I would phrase it as, that is our standard practice, is to offer discounted rates to municipalities. So it's, we wouldn't come back in and say that we're gonna change your rates from residential if we have a signed agreement saying that we're offering you residential rates.
Shouldn't there be a scope in there too as to where this is gonna stop at?
It's the 5 locations.
Yeah, that's the
They're not
scope.
specified, but
But I mean, I thought it was everything from the railroad track back. It's
This
only-
is
it's only
separate
getting
from-
this
this is
service.
separate from that completely.
Oh, it is?
that's their operations. This is an agreement to provide
Just with the
services
city.
to the municipal
Okay,
buildings.
alright.
I would agree with Skylar, I think that the attorney can work
Yeah,
with Joe on that date, and I have a problem with having a perpetuity contract. What if you want to get rid of us? I mean, what if we?
That's what we're trying to avoid.
Yeah.
We want that, they're not getting rid of us, this is just for that rate. So it's not saying we have to keep their service, this is just saying the rate that they're offering that service will be offered to us at at the residential rate. This does not say you are required to keep Lakeland as your ISP indefinitely.
Right.
This just says that they have to offer it to us.
Yeah.
There's nothing back saying that we have to stay with them.
That's correct.
Okay.
So I've got static IP address you had mentioned on 3C. Number 4, we should put some clarification to that with lawyer's recommendation. And then you said 9C.
Yeah.
Are they doing it? 9C has a 20 amp, I thought.
It's fine, it's the
Okay.
same size.
Okay.
20 amp is commercial, 15 amp is residential.
Yeah, and then we would provide service there.
So we just want to
As long as
define that Lakeland is paying to like trench the power cable, get
Yes.
it to the electrical panel where
Yes.
service.
And that we'll pay the electric power that the cabinet uses. Now, are we doing that?
I think it says that in there, that we will pay for the electrical service.
Yeah, but we want it as long as
Oh, yes,
the
yeah, for
complimentary
the
service.
term.
Yeah. Because it does not say that in there.
Right.
You got this ready quick, dude. I can't believe that.
I wanna call out 8B too, that connection fee per device is much, the monthly recurring fee per device is much lower than any, like their standard service rate. So that's something I appreciate seeing in there.
Yeah, and the device installation cost, that statement was purely to cover the costs that we would incur from providing the equipment that it would take to connect a lift station, traffic monitoring, things like that, just purely to cover our costs. Any other highlights or changes I should take down here?
Not that I can see. Appreciate you guys working.
Yep.
Working on this.
Just as a note here, Lakeland's very excited to expand our services into Woodburn. We are very excited to let you guys get to experience the amazing connections that we provide, and while we definitely want to get the contract piece and all that language worked out well, we're very confident that 6 months from now, everybody will be very happy with each other's involvement. So, and I've shared my personal contact information as well as others from our team as well. So, if there is ever a reason for concern, especially as construction starts to happen, it's pretty cold right now, but once we get a little bit of a break in the weather, like we plan on coming out and get started. And if you have any concerns, you're all more than welcome to reach out to anybody from our team.
But your intent is to start south of the tracks,
Mm-hmm.
and then the hang up is a railroad permit to go to the north.
Yep.
But whenever, if it's approved, then
Yep.
do you think you'll be going north then?
Yeah, our intent is to. We are completely at the mercy of the railroad, unfortunately, and how quickly they can move.
That's real fast.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Good luck with that.
we had one that took in excess of like 16 months. We submitted our
About right.
paperwork a while ago to them, but it sounds like you guys have worked with railroads before, so that can be a bit of a holdup. But our intent is to expand, but we can get started on the south side, start getting customers connected, get construction going, and hopefully continue these conversations as we move forward.
You can work with us on it because it looks like we're sponsoring or promoting you. So the north part of the city might say, well, then why don't we have it? So
Sure. Yeah.
if you can
Yeah.
do some diligence there.
Absolutely. Yeah.
I will say this though, Lakeland is the only company that reached out to us. Verizon didn't reach out to us,
Oh, yeah.
or Frontier.
Or Frontier, yeah.
That's same thing now.
That having there, if you remove the water tower, that they have to move parts and pieces, or does that contract not matter with that one? Only I'm saying, cause I'm assuming you're moving that water tower.
Yeah,
We're gonna get a new water
Oh,
tower.
yeah.
if you're talking about if something needs to be upgraded there or moved around.
Well, if you
to
move the water
accommodate that.
tower, all these cabinets gotta be moved
With it.
where the
Oh,
water tower's
when we
at.
get the new water tower.
They all gotta be
Yeah.
removed, all gotta be moved with that tower.
They're not going on the water tower as of this moment.
They're going underneath
So,
it though, right?
Are
they at the water, just the plant itself?
I think just on the plant property, right? Like, you don't need to be in the fenced area or anything.
You are wired fiber, right?
Hardline fiber optic connection, we'll place a cabinet. We'll speak directly with you to determine the best placement of that so that we're out of the way of anything.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
It'd be easy for that.
Anything else?
You guys have any questions?
I think you covered it.
So are you able to print those and amendments or changes?
If it's okay, I can adjust them here now. But as you mentioned, I think you guys are gonna wanna get your legal review.
Right.
I'd like to get a stamp of approval from our legal as well. And assuming the lawyers, I mean, we're paid to sign, so I can make those adjustments, and if you guys want a copy before I leave, we can print out some more.
Should we vote on this the next time? We'll wait till the attorney.
Talking about the adjustments that we can submit to our attorney.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, if you could do that today, that'd be great.
Yeah. You just let Kevin review it?
Yeah.
Or someone could make a motion pending Kevin's review
With the updated changes.
with the updated changes in Kevin's review, that you guys would want to accept it. Or you guys can wait all the way till next one, whatever you guys want to do.
Or open-ended motions like that, so secure to make, I guess. You know,
Well, as long as it's what you say happens.
okay.
I think that's happened before.
Yes, yes.
So, well, with that in mind, I'll go ahead and move to approve both the addendum to the feasibility study and the services agreement as amended, pending review by legal representation.
Positive, agreeable approval of our attorney, yeah.
Positive, agreeable approval. Thank you.
That's a motion.
Vicky seconded.
I
What are you
second.
saying? All those in favor? That's everybody? Alright. One step closer.
What'd you call it? Good. What'd you call it? Good what?
Positive,
Positive.
agreeable.
Agreeable.
Okay. Well,
Interpretation.
Solution, yeah. Yeah. Or, yeah. What I meant by that was as long as, you know, what Kevin says is,
Both lawyers
is
agree.
supportive of, you know, he doesn't say, no, 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 no.
I'm sure he'll say something.
Yes. That makes him a good attorney.
Yeah.
I asked for
so,
Something
so
worth
Joe, you're on
noting.
the original contract, so I could send all this over to Kevin as well.
Yep.
And then he would send it back to you to sign, right?
Okay, yeah, that's fine.
Okay. I'll let him, I mean, you'll obviously be on there.
Kevin, he'll want the original contract.
I have it all.
Okay.
Yeah, he's given that.
You know what, Josh, maybe if you can you dig up the fully executed contract, the original one?
It is, I'm not gonna be able to get it to you tonight. It's
No, we don't
paper.
need it tonight, just
All right.
sometime this week so I can get it over to the attorney.
Yep.
Cause we just have the contract, that, from our side that's signed, not the fully executed one.
Okay. Yep, I'll dig that up.
Alright. I gotta take this, continue on. You wanna give them an update on, the talk for the water tower that we talked about?
Not all of you guys got the paperwork, I can send the paperwork out. We met with Commonwealth last week, later in the week.
You want me to upload it into that folder?
You can if you want. They basically are reviewing our water system and the vulnerability of our water system and kind of do a whole study together. They got a small review of what's going on and what our needs are. There's some tweaks and stuff that needs to be done to it. After we sat down and talked, we had some questions and we wanted some different things done. So they're going to take that back to the drawing board and do a few more things and come out with a little more comprehensive plan that we're asking for. And in there, it kind of just tells you what they've seen so far, what they're saying so far. You know, as you heard us refer to the water tower. That's our biggest vulnerability right now is the water we have in the air. So there's some studies in there of what we should have versus what we're pumping and all that stuff. So it's kind of just going through, telling us what we're going to need. We had to add some softening at the water plant instead of homes doing it. We'll soften. We have that added in there too. So there's a lot of stuff in this paperwork. It looks kind of huge and big, but there's a lot of alternative stuff in there. But so I'll send it all out. If you reply back to me with questions and comments, and don't hit reply all. Just reply directly back to me. That way we don't have a shoestring meeting going. And then I can forward on questions and stuff that they're moving with different things. So I hope I can answer a lot of the questions. But it was a very good meeting of what we're looking at. It's going to cost some. It's going to be expensive, but because it's going to be a $500,000 water tower. So
Are we getting a grant for that?
We're looking at options for that kind of stuff. So we're in the very beginning stage of this at the moment.
So this isn't gonna happen this year?
No, the building, no. So but I think Kevin may have sent it all out to you. But look through it, questions, comments, get back to me. Just email me, like I said, and we can go through all that. So
Is this the one with all the options?
Slow.
yeah, a lot. Yeah, and you'll see all the options, alternatives in
It's
there.
a very long document.
They're
Do you have a preference? There's so many options here.
Well, that's kind of what we narrowed down at our last meeting. So that just kind of what they sent out to us. I want you to be aware of what's going on.
Okay.
A lot of that stuff is 20 years out, or that could be done. We changed some of that for what we thought our needs now were of what we wanted done. So there'll be more paperwork come out, another report come out with our changes we asked for. But you'll see a lot of different alternative stuff in there. We don't need all of it, but they just gave a bunch of different options of stuff so we could see cost-wise what some of the stuff is going to be.
The two big things that we would probably likely want to implement would be water tower and water softening system. There's several projects in there. There's probably about 7 different projects in there.
Yeah, a bunch of them in there.
So those are things that they recommend to have improved throughout the city over a period of time, So it's not like we have to do everything at once, but we laid everything out so that we know, hey, this needs to be fixed here, this needs to be fixed here, this needs to be upgraded here. So
yeah, just take a peek at it and go through it. On your own time. We have a little bit of time, so.
it's just
And there's
Correct.
there's a huge report. You think that one's huge? There's a much bigger one. It was too big to send via email, so I had to go online and pull it off the cloud. So, but it's much more comprehensive of what's going on. So, but all in all, like I said, not horrible. Just that water tower is you see. So
you've narrowed it down. That's what you're saying.
yeah, we kind of already had with the Board of Works that we met. It's been a couple years ago. We kind of already had an idea what we were looking at and what we knew we were going to be needing. I must not relate some of those two things. I missed a couple of them that we talked about, but they're gonna go back and add those in and do different things. So, yeah, a couple of those loops to me, like they said, they would not be necessary. It's just something they threw in there to possibly, if you expand in the future, what you want to do. So, but we had them add in at Mommy Center a loop out there that wasn't in the original report. And there's another one somewhere too. I had them change upsize a line that they were coming through. A couple things that were.
couple projects.
A couple of projects we
lines
did with,
already.
so. That's where it's at, and nothing major this time. That's why I didn't really present the whole paperwork to everything, so it was just we're kind of still in the background looking at it, so.
It's a lot to look at.
It is. And then read through it, you got questions, email me, call me, I said, I've been through it several times already, read through it, trying to make sure I knew everything that was going on in there, so.
So usually on these grants, do we get 100% or do we have some copay with that? Or?
And it depends, I mean, that's what sometimes you get 100%, sometimes you get 20% of it, so. But we'll have to look at other alternatives for fundings and stuff, so. And the big project in there is Havenwood's in there, Havenwood's in there to be upsized, so, cause there are only 2 and 3 inch water mains in there.
Really?
So that's one of their concerns was that's way too small lines in there, so. But, I said, go through it, look at it, and if you got questions, comments, please send them to me and I'll answer them, so.
Thank you for doing that.
Vicky, we'll give you plenty of advance notice of how much to write the check for, so.
Okay, I'm glad to hear that.
Alright. And the other big news you have, you're gonna take down the lights in a couple weeks, right?
Hopefully get the lights down next week.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I was
supposed
gonna
to be
ask
a
you
little
that.
bit warmer next week.
I didn't wanna poke the bear.
Yeah, 'cause those would not happen last week. It was supposed to be a little bit warmer next week and I'll get those things
Oh,
down.
maybe we're just gonna leave them up till next Christmas. You don't have to worry
Save me a
about
couple jobs.
Did you have
Exactly.
anything else, Ryan?
No, I don't think so.
Brad, did you have anything for the council other than what we talked about?
really.
Okay. Alright. Herb?
New Allen Alliance. So at our December meeting, we talked about meeting quarterly. And instead of having our meetings all in New Haven at the administration building, as they have been for a long time, moving them into individual communities. And so that it gets spread around. So earlier last month, we talked about locations for our February meeting and also time. We decided that we would pick a location for February and then talk about in the future adjusting the time because we haven't gotten very much feedback about alternative times. And so I suggested that Woodburn be the host for the February meeting and that we host it at Main Street Occasions. So I've talked to them about that, and so I reserved that date, so next Tuesday, not tomorrow, next Tuesday at 8 o'clock, 7:45, doors open. I talked to Randy about supplying or being the vendor to serve a continental breakfast there. They're gonna pay for the coffee. They're waiving a bunch of fees and stuff because they haven't had a grand opening there yet. And with me talking about the area communities being invited in, and I want to have Mayor Kelsey there at the meeting to talk about Woodburn, things that are going on. I thought it makes sense to talk about our trails.
Yeah.
You know, the trail map, the overall map, and what we've done to pick a next section and that we're moving forward with that section, and, you know, the housing additions and, you know, all the things that are going on in Woodburn. I'd like to have Goodrich there as well. I haven't been able to get that finalized because this is, in September will be the 65th year that they've been in operation here in East Allen County.
Wow.
So I thought that'd be a chance for them to talk a little bit about that in our regular meeting and stuff. So you're all welcome to come to it if you're available. I told them it'd be 20 to 30. I'm hoping for more. I have no idea. You can link in. There will be a link to do it online if somebody can't make it, but I'm hoping to bring in a lot of other people. So the regular meeting's gonna be there. They're gonna share a couple different things of information and stuff with everyone. So we'll be the first.
That's great, and I appreciate Woodburn being suggested for that.
Yeah.
It's gonna be nice.
We talked about that in
Yeah.
December. Kind of had the same idea.
Yeah, yeah.
So Randy's providing the location and all the food?
He's gonna be the one
Oh, doing the food.
to bring it there.
Did Main
yeah.
Street Occasions give you guys the cop the price to
Yeah.
rent it out?
They're gonna charge me 2 hours, we got it for 3. And they're not charging the rental fee, they're not charging cleanup fee, they're not charging for the coffee, all that stuff. So it's gonna
And then
cost
Randy's doing the whole.
$300, and I don't know, I talked to Randy and he said, yeah, get with me about a couple days ahead of time and I'll figure out what we need to do, so I gotta
That's awesome.
get with him to do that. I'll have to find a way to pay for it, but
A lot of benefit to the city because we're bringing in so many people from the area to see the new place downtown. You know, it's gonna be nice.
and they were excited about that too,
Yeah.
because obviously there's other groups that may wanna use that facility.
Yeah. Yep.
So,
So they charge $100 an hour?
$150 an hour.
$150.
That's next Tuesday.
Yeah, 8 o'clock, yeah. And I talked to him, I talked to Kim also about the Santa event that we have. And because they kind of want to get involved with the community, and I said, you know, we need to get tied in with the group doing that, because that would be maybe a good location to serve hot chocolate and cookies stuff, rather than out there in the frigid cold like we did this year.
Yeah.
And chili.
All right. So next Tuesday, it's Tuesday, right?
The 10th.
Tuesday the 10th. So next Tuesday. Thank you, Herb. Appreciate that. One other thing I should probably bring up is the right now we're talking about the officers and the potential of how to get some of the new officers the retirement fund, and there's a bunch of things that we're trying to work out with the nuances of the 77 fund, which we initiated that a long time ago, and you can't bring in new people to that. And the ones that we have in it are compensated quite well. Anyway, we just started the conversation about that with our new officers, and I'm explaining that clear as mud, right? But anyway, that's an issue we're gonna have to be dealing with here in the next few weeks. Probably having some more conversations with Kevin about Kevin, our attorney, about what we can do to make it the best we can for our officers, and what the city can do legally, and
Is this a pension?
yes. So, all right, I just wanted to bring that up to let you know we're starting the conversation about that, and more to come. All right. John? Could I ask you a question? Do you have any updates on the territory versus district talks? You probably are hating me for asking that, aren't you?
I do, but I don't really know what's gonna happen.
Okay.
Still in the process with the Ian, I guess, for Allen County.
I'm sure that'll be a long process, and we'll
I got a meeting next Thursday, so.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
Could you update us what's going on with that next meeting?
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
Is this the fire department?
Terry?
See, next week, some of us have a meeting with Goodrich on the car show
I
for
was just
August.
kinda wondering about that.
That's like 6
That's right.
months
I
away.
didn't mention that. Yeah.
Yeah.
The next
Next Monday.
Monday,
Monday. Yeah. The night.
It's gonna be in August?
yeah,
August 22nd.
August 22nd. So the 5K signed up, or it's on run sign up, so if you wanna sign up for that, or 10K, maybe you can run 10K there.
Yeah, let's go for it.
Also too, they wanna expand to 300 cars, we had 175 last year. So that means going on a North Street, either Bull Rapids or, was it Overmeyer?
Overmeyer and Park Street.
Yeah,
Yep.
so we got issues with Wi-Fi and speakers, so I did get a Wi-Fi quote, a company to come in with, Caleb helped on that. Getting a Wi-Fi quote for some wireless speakers, otherwise you can't hear the MC. So we'll have to start raising some money for that kind of stuff. It's gonna be around $3,000 for one day of Wi-Fi speakers and someone on site to help set them up, so. Anyway, guys, that's coming like a freight train, so.
Yeah, that,
We got a lot of,
and you said that was a spring 22nd?
August too,
Yeah,
August 22nd.
So is the recurring date gonna be the fourth Saturday, or is that not necessarily?
hasn't been decided,
yeah,
hasn't been decided.
I only wanna keep it right around that day.
yeah,
It's kind
That's
of
the goal,
the
is to keep
date,
it right there, that, yeah,
yeah,
area of time we want it, yes.
yeah.
doesn't switch all the time, but.
And hopefully we'll move beyond one day, maybe to two and whatever, so.
So that's,
Yeah.
down the
so
road.
that started, that date is officially set then.
Yeah,
For this one, yes.
yeah.
And that will begin with the 5K.
Yeah, it starts at 8:30 in the morning, so. It'll be August, it'll be a little warmer than September most likely. Of course, it was hot last year.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
It was a beautiful day, Saturday.
90,
It was a
yeah.
beautiful day.
Yeah, watch this year will be all rainy or
No,
something.
no, it was
Oh,
beautiful.
don't say that.
Don't say that. That's all I have.
Do you have anything, Dee? No. Vicky?
No.
Sarah?
Yeah.
I've been musing, the SEA one has been a topic of discussion a couple times.
Okay.
And I learned a lot about city accounting and utility accounting from Kevin, and by a lot I mean very basic stuff, but it was a lot to consume.
Mhm.
And so I was curious, right, what kind of relationship is there between what I don't know, support could we get from the utility to the city? And in looking things up online, I saw that if the utility has a cash reserve fund, then that money can be transferred into the municipality, and it can only come from that specific fund, and it has to be a certain amount that's based on like June or something of that year, and then it has to be appropriated before you use it. But that was one way we might look into making up for some of the reductions in income that the city's going to have. See if that is an option for us.
So are you suggesting to supplement the shortage with property tax, general income, with utilities? That's what you're
Potentially.
Kevin's thinking.
That's allowed, that is, so is that, I'm not 100% sure, is that allowed now, or is that something that's gonna be in effect when this happens?
This website, which I can put limited trust into, Find Law, suggests it's current as of January 2nd, 2024. Indiana Code Title 8, 1.5, 3.11, which I'd be happy to send a link. So that is current. It says a lot of things, but cash reserve fund shall be created by ordinance and carried on records of the utility by providing monthly contributions or transfers to the cash reserve fund of surplus earnings of the utility. Surplus earnings are those cash earnings after provision has been made to take care of current obligations, including operating expense, depreciation or replacement fund, bond and interest sinking fund, retirement fund, and any other priority fund requirements fixed by law. And then there's a few other sections in there.
So without getting this into a big long dissertation of the rates and stuff, our utility is, in a basic sense, is funded a third. Third sewer, third water, third general. Possibly that proportion could be moved, 40-40-20 instead of 30-30-30, that's another way we could do that too.
Yep.
Different from what you're saying, instead of reappropriating money from one pot to the other, we could do it that way too, some of it anyway.
Right,
You know,
that
it's
would
possible.
definitely limit the burden the city has in some areas, but this would provide for more flexibility.
Mhm.
If you do keep the proportions the same or you adjust them, then the city could say, potentially use those funds for other important projects.
So what that is saying is that after everything has been met, then the extra money above that would be able to go into that fund. So I think this year, what we're gonna start doing is, at the end of last year, I took like 250,000 money that wasn't spent in the utility and moved it to a depreciation fund, which is pretty standard practice. But this year, I'm just gonna do monthly transfers, so we'll see on there. I forget how much it is, but there'll just be a transfer every month, just like we do for water and sewer transfers. We'll transfer money to the depreciation fund. So I think if you got to the end of the year and you still had money in the funds. See, right now, the way I did it last year, we wouldn't be able to do that, because like, okay, well, all the money we took at the end of last year, any overage, we just moved it into the depreciation fund, which would leave none to move into there. But if we set up a monthly recurring that I move money for depreciation, and that's only the money that we put in there at the end of the year, then yeah, we could basically do the same thing we did with the depreciation this year, and any money left over, we put that monny into that fund.
Do
Right.
stipulations with that fund?
You'd move it to,
Yeah, that's a good
you'd
question.
move it to the cash reserve fund instead of depreciation.
Correct, because we would
Or
already
to
be
depreciation as
depreciating through the
needed.
year, we would already be contributing to the depreciation fund.
Okay.
So like last year, all 11 months, nothing in depreciation, then January hits and we move 250,000 over. This year, we'll move a little bit each month, and then at the end of the year, if you guys wanted to set that fund up, we could take anything that was left and move it in there.
Right.
So yeah, it's
It
definitely.
sounds like
an
there's
option. It's a good
interest. Do you
option.
mind if I just read the other sections? They're not that long.
It's not up to me. I'm not running the meeting. That's a good idea, though. It's a good idea to have.
It is 3 short paragraphs. Each paragraph is 2 to 3 sentences.
Okay, go ahead. Go ahead.
After creation of the cash reserve fund, the legislative body may include in the municipal general fund budget as revenue in lieu of taxes an amount equal to the actual balance in the cash reserve fund as of June 30th of the current year. However, the available cash reserve fund balance may be transferred to the municipal general fund only during the calendar year for which the budget was adopted, and transfers may not be made from any utility funds to the general fund except from the cash reserve fund. If at any time after the final approval of the budget, an emergency should arise for further appropriations from the general fund, the legislative body may, by ordinance, transfer additional money from the cash reserve fund to the general fund to provide for the additional appropriations. The transfer to be limited to the accretions of the cash reserve fund since the preceding June 30th. A cash reserve fund, if authorized by ordinance, may be used to make loans to another utility owned by the same municipality for periods not to exceed 5 years at any interest rate, and the repayment of the loan and interest shall be returned to the cash reserve fund.
So the fund can only get money into it, and you can't spend anything out of it besides to transfer that money
Either back to general fund,
into general fund.
either the utility or municipality.
And so if we move that money, we'll crazy on that part.
Yeah, because if you borrow it for something else, then it comes back with interest. to
No,
account.
that's if it's another, Woodburn Utilities has the money. If we had another utility set up, you would borrow it to the other one, but that wouldn't make sense, cause water and sewer are all under the same Woodburn utility.
Yeah, water can borrow from the sewer, sewer can borrow from water, but typically it's paid back with interest to that utility. We've done that in the past. One of them was way healthier than the other one. But yours is different. This is like a cash reserve basis. That's why I'm curious what it's limited to.
Yeah.
I
'Cause it's-
mean, at the end of the year, if you owe 20,000 on something and for whatever reason, you take it out of that cash reserve because you don't have any more money, you spend it. The way that made it sound is it had to come back with interest.
it's only if you're borrowing it to
Only-
another utility,
Correct.
Do you know utility? Okay.
yeah,
Yes, that
If
last
we put it in
section
the
was
general
another
fund,
utility.
and we don't use it. That's what I wanna know, if we put it in the general fund to use it and we don't use it at the end of the year, cause it can only be used in the year that you put it in there, it sounded like. So if we don't, we could just transfer it right back into,
Right back.
Right. You can transfer the balance as of as it was as of June 30th,
Mm.
and it has to be in the calendar year for you to transfer it out of that cash reserve fund.
Do you feel like you have a good grasp on where we're gonna land in a couple of years, or do you think we should maybe have somebody look at it and help us figure that out where we're gonna land in a couple of years?
We have a huge, I mean, so we have the utilities, which is a huge help to us. So I think doing something like that sounds perfect. Cause if we got down to it, you move money from your water fund into that fund and then into the general fund.
Mhm.
So, yeah, I don't know. Having somebody look at the effects of the bill is just kinda hard, cause like when they were here, it could change in the next 2 years, but
Yeah.
having that big chunk of that edit money taken away, I don't think is even gonna be, you'd have to cut a lot of stuff from the water department. Not cut, but you'd have to move a lot of money from the water department into that to cover that amount that'd be taken out of the edit. That's a lot of money.
Mhm.
So, yeah, I don't know. And then also, if it changes next year or this year, who knows what the effects would be, so.
Yeah, we're hoping that it changes.
Well, I would tell you, starting next budget, you make a small change already. You go 35, 35,
Yeah.
30, right? And then you start moving it now, slowly, and then change it back later on. If
So are you talking about salaries?
everything within the utility part that you split up 1/3, 1/3, and 1/3 right now?
Okay.
Everything.
So you keep going, you have two different points. You're saying in the utility budget, but we don't spend money, we don't spend tax money in the utility budget.
You
We don't
all-
pay anything out of the water with a third, a third, a third. If something's water or sewer, and sometimes it'll benefit both, then we'll split it up 50-50.
But you
But
buy vehicles, equipment, you buy our salaries, street plowing equipment, all that comes out split up.
So there's a road budget that's tax, so that's for roads. So something that would be for the road would get taken out of like local road and street, so, or MVH for something like
And we
that.
buy a new vehicle,
I think in the past, yeah, I think Tim did
portion
put,
of it comes out of the street department.
yeah, some of that money came out of the edit fund.
The tractor comes out, the tractor mostly comes out of there.
Yeah, I don't know the breakdown in every single thing.
I mean, I don't know how big it would be, but it may just pay to start moving some of that, so you're seeing different numbers.
Yeah. The literal effect of how things are broken up, the only thing that's written down that gets broken up like that is salaries.
Correct.
Where everything is down to a percentage.
Yeah.
Like literally in the payroll system, every line item for every person is taken out, 12%, 12%, 12%, and it's all broken down by percentages. Everything else is just how I'm typing it
How
in.
you put it in.
Yeah, in fund for each individual bill. So. Yeah.
Joe, was there any update on the trail proposal?
When I talked to my rep at INDOT, she said they would probably have an answer sometime around mid-February.
Okay, maybe next time we meet.
So I don't know if we'll have the answer by then, or
Right.
not, but
Yeah.
she said she estimates them having an answer,
Okay.
so. Put it on a rating system. There was about maybe 12, 15 other people that presented that day.
And then I wanted to bring up the fire thing too. I just looked at the timelines. It says February 17th is the last day to give notice of public hearing. So I guess what do we need to prepare for the public hearing? What are you
For
expecting
Public
us?
hearing for what?
The territory changes for the fire districts.
Going to the
We
county.
haven't been notified about any of that, so.
It was in the email you sent, Mayor. There's an attachment called Timeline for Territory Expansion. I might be taking it out of context. It may not apply to us, but there's a note that the last possible day to give notice of public hearing number 1 is February 17th.
I remember sending that timeline out, but we haven't been, I bet that timeline's probably been shot because we haven't been notified of any of that, so,
Okay.
yeah.
Well, that's just to send notice out, right?
Yeah,
well, right, but
for public hearing, yeah.
That's just, yeah, they're not gonna send it to us. That's to put it in like the paper.
okay, but we don't need to post anything about
No,
the fact.
we
that
will know if we're supposed to post something, yeah.
Okay.
We haven't been, I haven't been too much in the loop on that yet, so.
Okay.
Yep, thank you for
Nothing
asking
else.
though. And
Move to adjourn.
Yeah, go ahead.
I'd like to hear what Mayor Kelsey had to say.
I was just gonna say, I appreciate your in-depth look into SEA one.
Oh.
I appreciate that. That shows me that, you're concerned with our future budgets and, I think that's a good thing,
Thank you, Vincent.
absolutely. That's all I wanna say.
I appreciate it. Thank you. Taking an extra step, love that.
All right, motion on the table, to adjourn.
I'll
Second?
second.
All right, all those in favor?
Aye.
Wait for the recording to stop.